Hey there, my name is Joel, and in this video we're going to be taking a close look at this SEESII 16-inch pruning saw. Oh yeah, it's got all the power. We're going to put the safety on here while we take a look at it. But I have been toying around with this thing for the last couple weeks. Just changed the chain today so you could see it with a fresh chain. But I've been really impressed with what you can do with one of these little electric chainsaws, and I found this to be one of the better deals that I could find on Amazon. So I reached out to the company. They were happy to send me one of these, so thanks to SEESII for sending this out so we can do our review, our unbiased review, because they're not going to see this. So putting this through its paces, and I have several other chainsaws to compare it to, so I feel like I can give you a really good perspective of how this would work and what it would work for. So first off, let's take a look at the body of the chainsaw and all the components so you know how it works. Right here up top, you have the battery compartment. Now, I like the way that this sets on top and not the back or anything like that. It is one of the more precarious little battery compartments. You don't get a great positive click. You just kind of get a thunk when it goes in, and you do have a little bit of wobble on that battery. I'd like to see that cleaned up, but it is, if I can get it out, a large battery. You'll see it's a 40 volt. It says 4,000 milliamp hour, that's 4 amp hour lithium ion battery, and you actually get two of these, which I like because you can always have one charging, always have one in use. And the way that these things charge is through, not through an adapter, but through a little tiny plug that goes in just right there in the middle. That's one thing about SEESII power tools I wish was a little different. It's so much easier to stick these in some kind of, adapter to charge them, but it's easy to do, and you get two adapters, two chargers, so that you can charge both batteries at the same time, or use one and then charge it as you're using the other one. But you can see the battery compartment there, pretty generous, nice size, just slides in there like that. The battery also has LED lights that tell you how much power you have left. We're fully charged at the moment. And you'll see the body of the chainsaw right here. It's a nice balanced body. You do have to assemble part of this. You have to put this handle on. So there are two screws right here you put on, and then two screws right here that you attach to the body. And then of course you have to put your bar and your chain on, which is really not that hard, especially since they have a no tool tensioner here. I love chainsaws, especially electric chainsaws that have this, a no tool chain tensioner. You can tighten or loosen as you need to make sure that you're never wobbling or unsafe. And you'll see it's got a 16-inch bar on there. Seems to work really well. I've got no complaints. In fact, they give you two chains with the chainsaw, so you always have one, and you can sharpen one and keep one on the tool itself. On the other side, you'll see here is your opening for the bar and chain oil, and they give you a little tiny squirt bottle that you can fill and then more easily get this in so you don't get bar and chain oil all over your tool. And then you'll have some vents over here for the battery, and then your handle in the back. You've got some soft rubber, your safety button here, and then your trigger. And of course, this won't work unless you take the front safety off. Most people don't know this intuitively, but this is kind of a safety mechanism. Pull back and the chainsaw works. Press the button, pull the trigger, and then push it forward and it will no longer go. So it's kind of like a double safety. You have this thumb safety latch here, and then your trigger, and this safety guard up here. And this also guards your hand from anything that might kick back into you. So that's kind of nice. But overall, good design, good weight. It's not too heavy. It feels really good in your hand. You can grab it and walk like this. No problem. I haven't had any issue with it. One thing that I did find a little strange was this chain guard. It doesn't fit the chainsaw at all. I tried to force it on both directions. It's too small. It gets stuck, and you have to move the chain and push it in to get it on. I don't like that at all. So I've just got to be careful not to cut yourself. Whew, just cut it off. You see what I mean? It's too small for the chainsaw. So that's a bit of a bummer, because I like to have chain guards on my chainsaws when I'm not using them, but that's not going to be the one for you. If you really need one, you'd have to get another one. And this is just a quick look at what else comes with the SEESII chainsaw. You have some glasses, your extra chain, you have a little screwdriver and your chain tool here, a pair of gloves with rubber palms, And then you have this little squeeze bottle that you can load your bar and chain oil into and more cleanly add it to the saw so there's no spillage. Now let's go put it to the test in the woods. I've got some down trees we're gonna chop. We're gonna see how well this does and talk about how long this battery lasts. So let's go. All right, we're here at this down tree in the woods. We've been cutting with this chainsaw already, but just want to continue to cut our firewood off of this. I've got my protection on. You see my nice orange helmet, and I've got my eye protection here. We're gonna leave our ear protection off because the great thing about these electric chainsaws is they're so quiet. So I'll give you my comments along the way as I'm using this to tell you what I like, maybe what I don't like. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how well this works on camera. So here we go. There we go, safety off. And here we go. All right, you can see we're cutting some pretty decent logs here, and it's a pretty smooth cut. I am getting just a little bit of rattle off of this chain. I'm not sure what that is, but it might be because this saw is pretty lightweight and you really have to hold it steady in your hands versus a gas chainsaw that has the weight that pushes down on it for you. So I'll watch that as I continue, but that's just my first thoughts as I feel just a little bit of rattle in my hands coming from this chain. So let's keep going. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying my review of the SEESII 16-inch chainsaw, then leave me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. All right, we've been running this chainsaw for about 20 minutes and we're down to about half a battery on this first 4 amp hour 40 volt battery. We have the other one ready to switch. The only thing I can say so far is that I just wish it had a little bit more power. I know we're asking a lot. Look how big these logs are. This is only a 16-inch chainsaw, but we're kind of putting it to the test. It's really good up to about 6-8 inches. When you get to these 10-12-inch diameter logs, it takes a little longer. You just wish you had a little bit more power, but so far the operation has been flawless. We're going to continue on down here and just see what we can get done in this battery and report back on battery life. Then I'll have a few more comments for you. All right, let me do some final thoughts on this chainsaw here. The first thing I'll say is I wish there was a little bit more of a guard or a grab right back here on this backside. Come and take a closer look at this. There's just not much here to grab that wood and hold it in place. Others have more like jaws right there. It'd be great to hold that log in place while we're sawing it. I like this arm guard, and I think overall it's really lightweight and easy to use. I just wish it had a little bit more weight to basically help with the cutting process, because when you get to logs this size, we're talking about a foot in diameter, it does take a little while. But for logs like this, it handles logs like this like butter. Really nice cuts. You'll see We got a lot of firewood cooking here. We're gonna make sure we're warm this winter. So that's the test of the SEESII 16-inch 40-volt chainsaw with 2 of these 40-volt 4-amp-hour batteries. If you're in need of an electric chainsaw, this would be a great place to look. So check it out for yourself. I really think you're gonna like it.